I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down? He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack. Look, Eddie Hearn can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearn says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please, just please.
Bombs away from the Bronx Bomber!
Wanda! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You're not shit.
He's younger and I kick your ass.
I got dropped, man.
No, you won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Yes. What is up, MCR family? Another semi-daily edition of the show live on YouTube, obviously podcast form, iTunes, Spotify, radio, etc. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. It's going to be a fun show today. Going to talk about Wilder Fury 3 or Fury Wilder 3. Not being in the U.S. or not being in the UK potentially, which is quite interesting. And plus, we're going to talk about Eddie Reneso now having both Canelo and Andy Ruiz and Julio Cesar Martinez and Oscar Valdez and Ryan Garcia all now in that camp, with obviously the addition of the first Mexican heavyweight champion with a year contract, or I should say fight contract, not year contract, a fight contract with that team. A lot to dissect with that one. Mikey Garcia calling out Sean Porter. I don't know why. What is he smoking? Jesus fucking Christ. This quarantine's getting to us all. Speaking of quarantine getting to us all, Mario Barrios calling out Mikey Garcia, which he shouldn't be doing because, let's be honest, Batter Akhmadov, whoever his name was, what roughed him up, touched him up, as we say here. Let's be honest. Dana White shitting on Bob Arum. WBC talking about judges not in the arena and judges scoring the fight digitally, all that fun stuff. Should be a good show today with this semi-full panel. Let me get to the co-host here today over in the UK, Mr. Robbie Hearns, second cousin twice removed of Sir Eddie. Rob, how are you, man?
Yeah, I took a dip today, a little bit of a dip. We need to lift the lockdown because I don't know what. I keep seeing boxing scene forums tweets with the titles such as Tyson versus Mayweather does 5 million pay-per-view buys. Also, could Duran take AJ in a street fight? I need to get off, stop the bus. This corona's got people talking crazy shit right now, but yeah, other than that, I'm good. But I'm ready for some normality. I don't know if we're gonna get it anytime soon, but
are we talking like prime Duran or like old Duran right now?
I don't care. It's like
either or, it's a tough pick. I mean, it's
like 100-odd pound difference. But it's just just the topic that this has popped into someone's head. I'm going to start a thread. I mean, the Tyson versus Mayweather in pay-per-view buys one. The first one was fucking idiot. The first reply. But anyway, Gary
in Dallas.
Hey, whoa. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Okay. A couple of things. Barrios would absolutely destroy Mikey. Mikey's scared of him. That's why he's ducking him. Floyd Mike Tyson would probably do 5 million pay-per-views if it happened tomorrow. And I'm the biggest Duran fan there is. Like, I think he's the best lightweight ever. You beat Joshua in a street fight? That's ridiculous. He's 100 pounds smaller. But think about it. Panama is a country of 3-4 million people. It's given us the best lightweight and the best relief pitcher ever. Think about that. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, I don't know what you said there about Panama, but sure. I mean, yeah.
Said best lightweight and best relief pitcher ever came from Panama, which has a population of a couple million people.
I mean, sure. I mean, it's already what, like a minute into the show, and we get a baseball reference. I guess.
Had to get out of the way. Now we don't have. Now we're done. You know.
Would they be Panamanians?
They would be Panamanians.
All right.
Do you know who the relief pitcher from Panama is, Rob?
There's so many inside jokes on this show to like shows that we've done that like I guarantee our listeners don't remember. I guarantee. Only we do.
I'm entertaining myself. That's all that I care about. Sorry, listeners, but I'm here to just amuse myself right now with some of the stuff going on in Corona world. But no, I don't know, Gary. I don't know about Panamanian fucking first up pitchers or whatever you said.
Mariano Rivera. You know who that is, right?
He was on the Yankees. He was on the Yankees for a very long time.
He's a pitcher, isn't he? Panamanian?
The best relief pitcher ever.
Yeah.
That was good, Rob. That's exactly how you talk to like your wife or your girlfriend.
Rob is low key one of the funniest guys ever, right? Like Matt goes, anyone down? Who wants to do a show today or something? I said, I'm down. And Rob goes, maybe a show will cheer you up.
I always that's my go-to joke when someone says, yeah, I'm down. Oh, chill. What's the matter? You can talk to me. What is it?
Like it takes a minute to get Rob's humor, but it's good.
Once you do, when you get on that dad joke level, it's a much better place.
Oh my god!
Oh, boxing, yeah, Matt.
we have some boxing to get to, I guess, guys. Oh my god! I'm just worried about that one fucking commenter that was like, "You guys took 19 minutes to talk about boxing."
Was that the weather show when we talked about the weather?
No, that was probably like one of the first shows we did during the whole coronavirus thing. It was just me and Gary for sure. It wasn't you.
No,
you wrong. It was me and Gary talking about. I think it was the Stoner movie discussion.
Oh yeah, you did.
And that was like the best discussion we've had on the show. Period. Let's just be honest.
The irony of it was you were talking about it like two stoners, like just rambling on about it.
That's what you do. That's what you do. Let's talk about some boxing, I guess, right? As Rob says, that is what this show is today. FY, I might be coming back with another show tonight with Anthony Walker, depending what he's up to. He's having some, I think it was plumbing issues. So he has a plumber in his house right now. But we should do another UFC 249 breakdown as I was on his network. Now he's going to come on my network and do a show. But digressing from that, this is just a boxing show. So if you want any UFC 249 stuff, go check out the Walkout Network, which I was on their show yesterday. Digressing, Bob Arum was on Boxing Social's YouTube page with a Skype interview, some sort of interview of that sort, and said basically to the sort that the Fury Wilder fight, the trilogy fight, may not happen in the U.S. And I'm going to add the UK as well, even though he didn't state that. Oh, I didn't. Come on, there we go. Because if you're going to talk about an overseas fight, I think in this context, we're going to assume it's also not the UK. Maybe Rob disagrees with me on that one. Maybe that is where Bob Arum is talking about an overseas fight is in the UK, not in the US. But digressing, let's hear what Bob Arum had to say about this.
Well, Wilder Fury 3, right now, we put a pin in October. That may be a little optimistic, so we may have to drift that over until November. But we are exploring places outside of the United States to do that fight. And I think we're having some success. It's not in the Mideast, it's someplace else. And hopefully, I look forward to that happening. I mean, if we can do it in the United States with fans, then that's where we'll do it. If not, we'll confer with everybody and try to do it in a place that looks promising now outside the United States.
So that was Bob Arum talking about. I wish Rob a little bit, recorded a little bit higher in volume, but maybe next time it's okay. Come on, Rob, it's okay.
Would you record that in the bathroom, Rob?
Rob, come on.
No, I was in Bob's bathroom. Fucking hell.
Ooh. Rob, with the
It sounds like some Me Too stuff. I'm just gonna.
I signed an NDA. I can't say. I signed more NDAs going around here like crazy fire.
But guys, thoughts on the likelihood of a Fury Wilder fight not in the U.S. and potentially not in the U.K. as well? Because I think if it was going to be in the U.K., that would be where he would be talking about it. That would be something that he would mention. Are we seeing a Macau option? Because he's been mentioning Macau, China, as a potential for other fights. So do we see that here in some fashion, or is Bob on the edibles again, talking out of his ass?
Macau makes a lot of sense, right? But I think Japan makes a lot of sense too, right? Like, why don't we talk about Japan? They'll pay big money for the fight, won't they? And there's not been much of an outbreak in Tokyo, in Japan. Macau's really far away from Wuhan, isn't it? Like the other, like halfway across the country, like really far away.
I'm not a Chinese expert here.
Me either. I think it's really far away. I know Macau's like out by the water.
I know Macau's an island.
Is it an island or a peninsula? Is it an island?
I want to say it's an island.
All right. Okay. We both know roughly where that is. Where's Wuhan?
I should rephrase. I know to. I think Macau is an island.
Thought it was a peninsula. You might be right.
Close enough, right? It's one more side with water.
I don't know how the outbreak is there. I know it's the same country as Wuhan, but it's a really big country. I don't know how it is, but it's not bad in Japan, which is weird because it's so densely populated, but it's not. So I think that would be an option. You know, if you wanted to put fans there. I don't know when they're. Are we still thinking about doing it this year? Is this all next year talk?
No, he's still mentioning an October, November date.
I don't know how you can do that with fans. Like realistically, if they put that in the U.S. in a 20,000 seat arena, how many people do you think would go? Do you think they'd fill it out, or do you think people would just pass and just watch it on TV?
I think in the U.S.
Yeah,
I don't think legally you could do that.
I don't think so either. It's a hypothetical question. Like, let's say they announce it.
Let's say like Florida keeps like
Florida's yeah.
Like death rates rise. Florida doesn't care. DeSantis is out there. Yeah, let's just keep opening it up.
Do you think they get a full crowd, or do you think people pass?
No, I think people will pass.
Florida man injects detergent to watch Wilder Fury 3.
It's always Florida man.
The Onion articles just write themselves with this.
Yeah.
Rob, I mean, your thoughts about what could happen here with a Fury Wilder fight? Is the UK an option for a trilogy fight here, or do we see Macau? Do we see Africa? Do we see other parts of Asia? Maybe other parts of Europe potentially. Thoughts here?
I think if the possibility of live crowds in the UK is ready in October, you've already started it in America. You'd already be there. So I think it would be in America. We will be a lot further behind, I think, as far as live attendance, because we seem to have a grain of, I don't know, common sense. I don't know. I just think you guys will come back quicker than we do because your governors seem to be opening up places quicker. Vegas is talk. I think Bob said, is it May 23rd? They want to open Vegas again. They're going to have. Like,
I know the UFC talked about that. I don't know about Bob.
Yeah, but no, Bob said speaking to in Vegas that the governor or someone has said, like Vegas related, that they're looking to open Vegas May 20 something.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So but I honestly think Bob's talking about Macau. He done an IFL interview as well, stating that he's got very good relations with people over in Macau. He's done fights there before. Wasn't Postal Ramirez going to Macau?
I believe so. I know for sure with China. I'm assuming Macau.
Yeah, I think it was. So yeah, I think that's where the destination he's talking about. So that'd be interesting. But again, live audience, the gate, that's going to be the one. I know Ed is looking at probably Joshua Pulev will land outside of the UK. It will be maybe abroad now, looking for somewhere. He's spoken to people in New Zealand. I think like they've come they've come on board. They've I don't think got any cases right now. I think they're still locked down. I think there's a travel ban in place. Not letting people in. While the rest of the world is dealing with this shit, you're not coming here. Australia as well. So I don't know where that'll land, but yeah, for this fight, I think Bob's talking Macau. Now I guess it just depends on, like you say, whether people are actually allowed to attend but I think it's safe to say they're not going to do this fight without fans. So it's a matter of finding somewhere where fans are allowed to be in attendance, because they're not going to give up 17 million gate.
Or you find that $17 million in the gate somewhere else, whether through advertisement, sponsorship, site fee. You could do something of that sort, all three combined, and collect 20 million from that. You could, in theory. And on that point, I mean, if you're in this position now where you're losing money on gate revenue, just as a sporting entity, period. Name any sport, they're losing money on gate revenue. If it's basketball, football, whatever it is, you're losing money there. Why not try at this time to acquire more advertisers and sponsorships? That's what I would be doing. And I would assume right now, corporate sponsorships, there's sort of an opening, because there's so little being pushed out there. There's so little sports being put out there that these corporations want their content to be advertised in some fashion. And I wouldn't be surprised to see these box promoters, MMA promoters, sports entities take advantage of that right now. Guys, any other thoughts on Fury Wilder 3, where it could be located? I'm leaning this still doesn't happen this year. But quickly, Gary, I will say this. This weekend is still such a pivotal moment for sports. Because, I mean, if you've been watching on Twitter, if you're connected to MMA at all, you've been seeing the fighters get tested today. That's been the big day, is them arriving to the center, the facilities, and being tested for COVID-19. Again, if this goes off without any sort of massive hitch, these bigger entities are going to try opening up, or these other entities are going to try opening up at ASAP, because the UFC did it and they're successful with it. They're making money doing it. I guarantee Eddie, I guarantee Bob, I guarantee everyone else is going to try doing it ASAP.
Eddie said, I think it's today on a boxing social, he was all like, yeah, we're going to get back. We're going to get back first. We're going to do this. And as time has progressed through the lockdown and, waiting on news of when we might be able to do it, he's kind of took the approach of the hurry back thing. Maybe let's just come back when we're good, when things are safe. And he said he's glad that Dana's going first. Before it was kind of not a contest, but he said, when people tell me no, it kind of makes me want to do it more. He's like, I guess, that kind of guy. But he's now, Dana White and UFC 249 is kind of the cage down the mine shaft. You go first. He said, I wouldn't have minded if people might not believe me, but if Frank Warren went first, because we can sit back, we can say, right, that really done well, that really worked well, that we need to address that. That's not quite how we should be doing it. That's not safe. Or, oh shit, 3 fighters tested positive, God forbid. But, he's now erring more on the side of let's come back when it's right. Not, he said, is there really that much difference if we wait till August, September as coming in July? Does it really matter that much? And I think a few trainers have even said that. I think Joe Gallagher said, look, let's just get this right. Don't rush back for the sake of rushing back. So, yeah, I think UFC 249 is going to be a big deal for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
The fallout of that. So,
both of you guys, Gary and Rob, refresh your pages, for the love of God. Because echoes coming from both of you guys. Thank you. As we're about to head over to the Andy Ruiz topic, just want to remind every one of you to hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio. Hi, gentlemen. Nice to see you back again.
It's good to be back. It's been a while. It's good to be back.
Just that 1 second was terrifying. I was all alone. Let's move on. Andy Ruiz and his deal with Eddie Reneso and the Canelo team is now official. It's a 1-fight deal. and we'll be seeing this sort of super team in Mexico be formed. Guys, I mean, for those who have been listening to the show for the last few weeks, you guys have been following the story with us. I've been excited and ready for this combination of fighter and team and trainer. I'm a big believer in Eddie Reynoso and in his work there in Chepo. I believe that team is absolutely top notch. And like, think about it, their weakest link is an Oscar Valdez. Like that as a team is your weakest link. That's pretty fucking incredible. Guys, thoughts about what, Rob? You're muted.
The second comment on the post is like, Andy Ruiz is a clown.
Oh yeah, I mean, people are gonna be people. But I mean, I think this is a perfect combination here for all involved. And I think we're gonna see probably the best of Andy Ruiz for his next fight because of this combination of trainer and team and just motivation. And a quick shout out to Santiago with the super chat there. The banter with you guys will always be good. Thank you. Dwayne in the chat saying 1 fight deal. Yes, it is just a 1 fight deal. I'm assuming sort of a probationary period because if this doesn't work out, it allows them an easy out, so to speak, both as a fighter and as a trainer. Guys, thoughts on this relationship now, this deal?
I mean, like we talked about, where should Andy Ruiz go? And this was the first name we both mentioned. So I think it's the right fit for him. I have a different take on this. I think the 1 fight probationary deal was from the trainer. I think they're going to try to gauge how serious Andy Ruiz is. And if he's not, I want you out of my gym. So we'll try this 1 time. And if you give me 100%, we're good to go. But if you do what you did your last fight, I'm not putting my name to you. So this is basically Eddie Reynoso giving Ruiz 1 shot, I think, right? Like, because if you're Andy Ruiz, don't you want to be a part of this camp? I mean, I'd say I'm here. I wouldn't say I'm here to test you out for what, you know. It's like telling Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich, I'm going to test you out. It's like, no, you don't really need to do that. Like, I'm good. I got Canelo, I got Garcia, I got a bunch of guys. I'm good. I think this is the other way around. I think this is Reynoso gauging how serious Andy Ruiz is.
Sure. I don't think I said anything to the contrary of that.
No, I know you did. But I thought like that would be the kind of Ruiz was trying Reynoso out for 1. I thought that would kind of be the popular narrative.
I think it's very clear that Eddie Reynoso is sort of in the driver's seat.
Okay.
Of the reason you said he has a super team. He has Canelo. Like, he doesn't need you, Andy. And Andy's the one that is a little bit more questionable here in terms of dedication. So I think you're absolutely right. Rob, your thoughts on the relationship now between these two, the 1 fight deal and such?
Yeah, this is definitely we'll do 1 fight. If you come in 300 pounds, we don't need to work together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'll pick up the check that 1 fight presents itself. But after that, now we're good. You know, enjoy your fat happy life somewhere else. It ain't happening here. This is a stable of champions, and that's how we roll, kind of a deal. So look, if this gym, this trainer, this stable doesn't motivate you, then nothing's going to work for Andy Ruiz at this point. I just hope there is a real instant attitude change, you know. If 2 weeks into camp he's supposed to be there, doesn't pitch up and things like that, you know, does that 1 fight even happen? You know, it's like, I don't think Canelo misses a day in the gym, doesn't go out partying, doesn't, you know, and this is the guy that's through that kind of dedication has secured himself $365 million over 10 more fights, or, you know, 10 fights or whatever. So it's either this camp, you shape up and, you know, put the work in, or I don't know where he goes from there. You know, Teddy Atlas basically told everybody what he would want, and I don't think Andy was interested. So, you know, but I just think around Canelo, you know, and a young guy like Ryan Garcia, who seems to be on a path to some kind of stardom, it can only if you're in the right mindset, rub off in the right way. And I expect to see a finely tuned Andy Ruiz, because there's no doubt he's a good fighter. It's just you just got to have that to be the that different breed, that different level. There's a certain amount of dedication that goes with it.
It's different to be great for one night than it is to be great for an extended period of time, to have a reign of dominance, right? It's very different to have that like sort of one night of greatness, of something that is transcending your sort of status. And Ruiz sort of had that in the first Anthony Joshua fight. Now it's time to see if he can actually have sustained success in the top of the heavyweight division, because we haven't really seen that. We've seen him face and beat up like the top 20, 30-ish guys in the heavyweight division. We've seen him beat a top 5 guy. We've seen him also lose to top 5 guys. So now let's see how good he really is. And like you said, Rob, I think you're absolutely right. This is, if he doesn't get it figured out with this camp, then there's like no hope, so to speak, for this guy. Then maybe the comparisons to Buster Douglas would probably be a little more apt at that point. But right now, it's a little more of a wait and see, because if he does turn it around and he is now a force in the division, perennially speaking, then I only talk about Andy Ruiz as being a really talented heavyweight, and actually one of the more talented heavyweights of the bunch. Like he's more of a talented boxer than Deontay Wilder, for example. I would say he's more of a talented boxer than Dylan White, even like Joseph Parker to a degree. But all these other guys have been able to beat him at times as well. So he needs to figure it out. And obviously dedication is a massive part of that, or the lack thereof, I should say. Guys, any other thoughts on Andy Ruiz and what's next for him? I mean, do we still all think the Dylan White fight's not even a part of the equation because Dylan White's fighting Alexander Povetkin? That's just promoter talk right now. But the Chris D'Elia fight, the one that's been talked about a lot, that's the realistic, obvious tune-up for him next, right? Oh, I froze up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I think the White fight's a great fight. I think Ruiz has a potential to be one of the top 2 heavyweights alongside Tyson Fury. I really do. I think he's the second best heavyweight when he's right. But it's a matter. Rob thinks that.
Oh my God, Gary, that was like the Chipmunks, man. Is that what you've been talking about?
Yeah, when you drop out, Gary, that turns into Gary. Gary, go. It's like the cartoon telephone call.
Okay, Gary, we're gonna try to bring you back. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Wow. Gary, what happened? Gary.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drop off. I don't know. I turn into Alvin the Chipmunk or whatever.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I froze up, so I had to refresh my page. I had to. Anyway.
And I had to hit the helium real quick. That's why I sounded like that.
And gradually, before you drop off, Matt, you start it's like someone starts smearing Vaseline on your camera lens. It's like you slowly blur out, and I start getting a sinking feeling that shit's gonna go wrong. It's like, oh, Matt's computer's getting a bit hot right now.
Gotta put some ice on it.
It's gonna, yeah. But yeah, you know.
Oh goddamn. Anyways, let's talk about Triple G being on the record with Greg Bishop from Sports Illustrated, I believe is who it is. I think he's a private account where he's blocked me. I don't know, don't care. But Chris Mannix, I don't know this person, so I'm assuming it's not a situation of him blocking me, just maybe a private account.
I'm gonna go with he's blocked you.
Really? I don't even know this person. How could he have blocked me?
He might know you.
That's hey, I'm okay with that. But Chris Mannix relaying the news to me, saying Triple G goes on record with Bishop. He will not fight Canelo next, and he will fight his mandatory Zemarata. Guys, any thoughts on this other than like who gives a shit? Because if Triple G is not fighting a legit top 10 middleweight, then I don't care to see him fight right now.
This is getting silly with Triple G right now. I mean, go fight somebody good. Really. Go fight somebody good. Like, You thought Derevyanchenko was going to be a pushover, and then he roughed you up, and you were lucky to get a decision. Go fight somebody good. Go fight Derevyanchenko again. Give him a rematch because no one thinks you won that fight.
And drop the belt. This is his mandatory. Come on.
Fight somebody good, Triple G. Fight somebody good.
Look, today is the anniversary of Triple G's pro debut. Can you just not go in so hard, Terry? Jesus.
He's one of the most overrated middleweights of all time.
What was that, Gary?
He's one of the most overrated middleweights of all time.
I know. I agree with that. I just wanted you to say it again, dude.
I'll say it one more time.
That's ridiculous.
He's one of the most overrated middleweights of all time.
He arguably, about what, 4 fights ago, beat the pound for pound #1 fighter on the planet right now. So,
but he didn't, though.
He didn't draw either, and he didn't lose. So I don't know what he did.
I'm not a hater. I'm just realistic.
He did.
On my card, he's 0-4 in his last 4 fights. Besides the Steve Roll fight, throw that out. But Jacobs, the 2 Canelo fights, and the Derevyanchenko fight, he lost all those. Oh, didn't he fight someone else in the interim too? Didn't he fight Vanis? Throw those fights out.
Yeah, I was at that fight. Yeah, that was a great one.
But this is who he fights.
Well, when the guy you're supposed to fight pops for Clenbuterol, what you got?
No, it's not fault on his own, but just like that still doesn't make it a good fight. It excuses a bad fight happening, sure, but doesn't also make a bad fight into a good fight. You know,
it was supposed to be Jaime Munguia, right? But they wouldn't approve him. And now look,
he'd wreck Munguia.
Who wouldn't approve him? Was it the sanctioning body?
No,
California, I think, was it?
No. It was Nevada, I think.
No, because it was in California. The fight was in California.
I want to say it was California.
All right, didn't both say it was California then? But
I could be wrong. Santiago, you want to fact check us?
The commission really? They stopped that? That's shocking. That's shocking.
Yeah. And now
he had just fought or something like right before that. Like there wasn't enough.
Wasn't like 6 months before that? Like
I don't remember.
With McGregor. That's so good. Shout out to boxing. And shout out to everyone in the chat. I didn't shout out to anyone in the chat. Heath Farley, Thank Cap, God of War, Santiago, Dwayne. Who else? Who else is there? Scott Brown, always trolling. Shout out to you, Scott. LFC. Hope everyone's having a fantastic hump day on this glorious Wednesday.
Don't forget the guy that's backing me saying it was Nevada and Bob Bennett that wouldn't allow Munguia.
Then why would it be relevant to his fight in California? You got muted,
Rob.
I was looking at the screen. I wasn't looking at you. I'm sorry. If I knew that,
didn't get muted. I just was muted.
Yeah, I know that. I know. But
no, because I think they were going to do it in Vegas to start with, and then because they didn't allow Munguia, they then moved the fight and got Varnes instead. I think.
I mean, you might be right on that, but I don't think that's 100% how it went down. Maybe I'm wrong. But just
it happens
again. If you were to move it to California because you can't get acceptance of a Munguia as an opponent, the idea was you would shop it to California and have the Munguia fight in California.
But
that didn't happen
with Nevada not approving it? Would have California? I don't think they necessarily would have gone against what Nevada did.
In theory, most likely not, but it would not have been an issue of being against the Ali Act. There wouldn't have been a violation of that. Like, a fighter's not suspended. He's not like there's certain things that didn't happen, so that it's not a true issue of commission shopping, so to speak, or a legal issue, so to speak, of commission shopping. But digressing, do you guys care to see Triple G back to the topic at hand? I feel like we got off the topic there. Triple G with Zemurata fighting his mandatory, not fighting Canelo next, not fighting Andrade, not fighting Charlo, not fighting Derevyanchenko in a rematch, not fighting, God name any other relevant middleweight, I guess. Does this get you going at all? Do you guys care to see a old Triple G facing this level of opponent in his sort of stage of his career?
No. What does this do for him? Fight somebody good. Go fight Andre. Fight for his belt. Let him strip you and then go fight for his belt. Fight somebody good, Triple G. I mean, he didn't fight anyone good until Jacobs. He was like 34 years old. Fight somebody good.
Rob, I mean, do you care to see this?
Yeah, I haven't seen boxing for fucking ages. If this was,
I mean, ignoring that for a second, Rob. I mean,
this is what's happening right now. He wants to come back. He said it's going to be as soon as possible. They're not going to do Canelo Triple G as soon as possible with no fans. We've talked about it with Wilder Fury. No fans, it ain't happening. Canelo Triple G, no fans, ain't happening. So just go. He's coming off an injury. Whatever layoff, just get your mandatory out of the way. It's like, I don't want to see Joshua Pulev really, but it's his mandatory. We're not going to get the other big fights. So I don't know. Just get them out, tick them off the box, move on, and let's.
I feel like I understand your point, but I feel like that's reasoning to point out that like these fights don't matter and like they have no relevance and we don't care for them. You know what I mean? Because like Joshua Pulev is another great example. Like that fight doesn't need to happen, doesn't matter at all. Like Pulev has been hasn't lost since Klitschko, but who gives a shit, man? Like he hasn't fought anyone relevant. His last notable fight was Rydell Booker, for fuck's sake. And Rydell Booker's what, 30-20?
His last relevant one was
Fury. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to.
Gosh, is Pulev boring to watch? Golly.
I think that's a. Even though Joshua Pulev is probably it is a better fight than Triple G Zemurata, I still don't want to see that. Like that fight doesn't build up any excitement for me, regardless of this pandemic, regardless of the fact that we have no boxing going on. It's been 56 days since we've had a combat sport event that's been relevant, not including the Nicaragua card. I understand your point, but regardless of all that, these fights still aren't exciting matchups in any way.
For me, it's just a case of like the card in Nicaragua. I really didn't care. I didn't have anyone on it. This would be like a proper higher league level. Maybe not matchup, but there's names. Triple G, which maybe there's a really good out or whatever. But yeah, I'm not super pumped. Like, oh my god, Sarah Meta. I've never seen Sarah Meta in my life. I'm not like hyped. I'm not hating him.
Wasn't he on what card was that he was on? Was it a Chicago card? Was it the Usyk card? Was it Usyk Witherspoon?
Who was on that card?
Zemurata. Because wasn't he earned air quotes his shot on, I think it was a DAZN card. I want to say I don't remember if it was a match from card or some other card.
I want to say it was that card, but I don't remember him. I mean, Charles Conwell was on that card. Bivol was on that card. The Jones. I don't remember him being on that card. I mean, he may have been, but I don't remember that. I know that he wanted his chance to fight Triple G on his own card. Was it the Triple G undercard? Was it against Steve Rolls? Was it that card?
Ooh, it might have been that one. It might have been that. That's possible.
Because I was at the card in Chicago, the Usyk fight. I don't remember watching that fight. This is what we've already seen Triple G blow out these level of fighters. What I just no, at this point you should be fighting for your legacy. Go fight Andrade. There's no reason for you not to.
I think even like a controversial win over Andrade helps solidify his legacy.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest about that.
His best win is Jacobs, who beat him.
I mean, that is his best win. He didn't beat Canelo. As much as the Triple G fans want to say that, he didn't.
It wasn't the Steve Rolls card. I don't know.
It wasn't. What card was it? Well, what was his last fight then, Zemurata? Try spelling that name out too. Have fun with that. It's like SZ.
Hang on.
Whatever it is, you go find that one.
I thought you had it in front of you. That's why you were telling me how to spell it.
No, I don't have his name in front of me. Unfortunately, I apologize. I just have the Chris Mannix tweet in front of me. Rob, people are saying there's some echo on your end. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you want to just refresh the page again. It was working better when.
I heard it when I was talking, and they're saying I sound underwater. I sound fine right now, but
you sound fine right now. Yeah. It's one of those that goes in and out. You know, it's one of those. It's finicky. It has a mind of its own.
It's
like what's the computer's name? HAL from 2001: Space Odyssey. That's StreamYard. It's a malicious bitch. But digressing, Mike Garcia, obviously on some peyote or something, thinking that he can face Sean Porter, and that would be a quote terrific fight, and the fans would love it. Guys, how much drugs is Mike Garcia on right now?
At least he wants to fight Sean Porter. I think he probably means it as well.
Any shots at Crawford are funny. I'll take that.
Oh, you knew? I just thought I was going to have to say like maybe WBO champions that say these things and don't actually mean them. But you got where I was coming from. That's good. Anyway, Mikey's got fucking Barrios problems. Who cares?
Which we'll get to. We're going to get to that. I like the call out, man. I mean, he just beat Vargas, who's a top 10 to 15 guy. So if you beat a guy like that, why wouldn't you call out the top names in the division? Do I think he's going to beat Sean Porter? No. But like, why wouldn't he call out Sean Porter or Keith Thurman? Like, he beat the guys a step below that. So go fight Sean Porter.
I get it. I understand, guys, but
Matt doesn't even like boxing. I swear to God.
No, I love boxing. I don't like mismatches. I've never really enjoyed them. And Sean Porter, Mikey is a mismatch. Sean Porter would tear up Mikey Garcia right now.
I agree with you. It's a mismatch in the ring, but on paper it's not because Mikey just has a good win over Vargas. I agree, though. Porter destroys him in the ring. I agree.
Didn't you pay for a certain mismatch with Mikey Garcia?
I pay for everything, Rob. Okay, I know I'm frozen right now, but I'm gonna. Oh, here I'm back. Okay, thank God. I pay for Crawford Khan for fuck's sake.
And that is another mismatch.
You know it is. Thank God they're tax write-offs.
I didn't pay for that one. I went to Austin to watch my boy Rashard Hicks fight. I didn't pay for that fight. Crawford Khan.
Against Daniel Yusuf?
No, it was a fight before that.
It was the fight before that.
One that got him.
The one that got him that fight. It did. It got him signed by Cameron and whatever. And then he got that fight, which didn't turn out well for him. But that's besides the point.
Was that the fight that Alusnaf finally got a knockout?
He knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, in the first round.
He got clipped. It happens.
Gary, sometimes like your prospects or like your fanboy picks are like really spot on. Like Virgil Ortiz, I think is actually going to be something potentially.
Yeah, but look.
But then you pick fucking like Mario Barrios. It's just like what?
A clock is twice right a day. Right?
No, you're
How
right.
about Omar Juarez? Is Omar Juarez good?
I like him. I think he's talented. You know that. I've always been high on Omar Juarez. I've been higher on him than Hector Tanahara.
Tanahara is. Ooh, that's a good one.
Tanahara is too basic. Juarez, like he can slip off the center line. He can exchange in the pocket. He can throw to the body.
He can excite people.
Yeah, that helps. That definitely helps. Yes. I think neither of them win a championship though. A legit championship. That part.
It's tough. If Juarez, the plan is to bring him back down to 35 when he steps up. 35 is going to be really tough for anyone to win a belt at this particular time, right? No, they'll both win a major belt, absolutely. Especially Tanahara.
No, they won't. Sorry.
Do you want to talk stoner movies some more? Oh my God.
I mean, they might win like a WBA like regular belt.
No regulars, no interims. One of the 4 major belts.
No, it's not happening.
I don't know how you're making that prognostication on Juarez when he's had like 7 fights. Like, what do you? I mean, it's a little.
I think Juarez is too exciting. If that makes sense. Like he's hittable. Like he to the point where there's gonna be a certain point where all of a sudden he starts getting hit by guys whose power is different, and then he's just gonna become an exciting, fun mid-card fighter.
What I talked to,
and that's not a bad thing. I want to rephrase. I want to reinforce this. Like it's not bad for that to be your legacy, for that to be your career. But that's just what I think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be a champion, and that's fine. We need mid-card guys.
you're making the same jump though, Gary, by saying he's definitely going to win one of the 4 majors.
And actually, no. Gary's making a greater jump than I to say he's going to win one of those 4 belts.
Is the percentages of people that win a title to the ones that don't?
Yes. Good point there, Rob.
So
I don't know how you make these assumptions, Gary, off of 7 fights that he's going to win a championship. That's more ludicrous than my assumption.
Well, that's just obviously I like the skill, and it's just most of it's fanboyism.
So the fanboyism versus haterism. This is good. Who wins? You decide.
Well, I mean, we're 7 fights into his career, whatever. I mean, it's. Yeah. I didn't say he's going to win a title next week, like you say about what's his name, like.
You're talking to me or Rob?
Rob, the 154-pounder that everyone loves from Uzbekistan.
Oh, Madrimov.
Oh yeah, Madrimov. Oh, you're going to win a title tomorrow. It's like, settle down. Relax on that.
But Gary, talk to me here. I'm consistent at least. I'm consistent here. Like, if you don't show me something, like, and I can't really point it out, then no, I just think you're going to be a mid-card guy. And that's fine.
Matt consistently hates prospects.
That's not true.
Not Joe Cordina.
Yeah, Joe Cordina is the truth, man. He's going to win. Joe Cordina could beat Oscar Valdez right fucking now.
He says it himself. No,
did Cordina say that?
Joe Cordina said that.
Oh, cool. Way to go, Cordina. Talk that shit.
Check it out. Lockdown Tapes. Matchroom's podcast feed.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, you won't.
I won't. You know me. I got that Lou DiBella interview though. On was it Pugmar podcast, the Pug and the Cop podcast? Just because Lou DiBella and he's going to be ranting, so I want to check that out.
Yeah. Everyone's a fucking idiot for thinking boxing's coming back. Fuck this, fuck that, mother effers, everything, as you'd expect. It was good. It was kind of like I kind of like. He kind of was like, just slow down. Let's just make sure we do this right. It's kind of sensible, but anyone thinking of coming back quick was a fucking idiot. And and like Lance Pugmire said about, because there's no content, maybe the networks will pay a little bit more than they were. And he's like, why the fuck? Straight out, why the fuck would they pay more, Lance? It's like, oh, okay. They caught Lou in that mood, but it was good. People go check it out. It was actually a good interview. Prepare yourself for someone on Wi-Fi, the other side of America, having better audio than the 2 guys doing the podcast. But anyway,
no way, really.
Yeah, Lou came through nice and crystal.
I don't get how you have these nice big contracts. Like, you actually make a living industry, and you still can't get good equipment.
Michael Bisping's got a podcast, right?
Yeah, he has a pretty good podcast. Yeah,
he's done.
He went on Eddie's shit with Elliot.
With Bellew, and he came on crystal clear, microphone in front of him. Eddie's like, "Oh, check him out with the mic." He goes, "Yeah," and he's like, his audio was like just perfect. It was good, actually. Good chat with Bisping, and you're going to like that. Ariel Hawani suggesting Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis.
Bisping is on the low, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this industry. Very pleasant.
He seems a really cool guy. He's
definitely a prick if you're his opponent, and like to the point where like he's had some incidents. But man, he's a very nice guy if you're not his opponent. I will say that.
Didn't he like X amount of fights, or his career was like with one eye?
Yeah. He had a fake eye, and he didn't tell the commission about it. He faked it.
Don't they make you do a test, like a vision test?
Dude, do not talk to me. How? Okay, but that is just indicative of our commission testing, right?
Eddie said, yeah, we have.
No, I got a story. I got to tell you. It's an MMA story, but follow me here. Chuck Liddell, he was on the Golden Boy MMA card. Remember that? Remember the Golden Boy MMA card 2 years ago, whenever?
The one that Oscar couldn't hold together.
Yeah, he couldn't pronounce Chuck Liddell's name. Chuck Liddell, right?
Liddell.
He I think it was a month before that fight, had 2 discs infused in his neck. And then for the neurological test that the California Commission did, right? The great California Commission did. They made him stand on one foot, and he fell over. He couldn't stand on one foot. That's how like old and faded this guy was as a fighter. The commission still allowed him to fight. So, I mean, if Michael Bisping can definitely get, I think it was at least 3 fights he got away with without both eyes.
Yeah, Ariel one, he said, because Eddie was like, we just had Michael Bisping on. What a nice guy. And that, he said, did he take his eye out? And he went, wait, what? And he's like, no, he didn't. And he said, me and him were on like table ringside, and just started chatting away. And then next thing, Bisping's just took his eye out, and it's just like his actual eye is still there. It's like it's almost like a thicker contact lens kind of thing, like a rubber fake eye, and the old eye is just like black. It's like, oh my god, he just whipped it out. Yeah, nice, not good, but yeah,
that's criminal though. Whoever was that, Chuck Liddell, you said couldn't stand up straight, couldn't stand up. Whoever signs off on that should be in jail. Really, like he could get killed. Right? This ain't baseball. This ain't golf. Like, do you know what he is letting him do? Nah, I mean, look, people should be allowed to fight if they can pass a physical. Like, if you're 50 years old and you can pass all the physicals in the world, all right, fight. But if you can't stand up, okay, go in there and go fight a professional fighter. Like, come on, like that guy should be in jail. Honestly,
if you only have one eye, you should be fighting too.
Exactly.
Combat sports is the fucking red light district, man. I'm telling you, Gary. If there's one thing I can contribute to this community and this industry is for us to be more aware of how awful our industry is when it comes to shit like this. The fact that somebody can get away with not being able to stand up on one leg, not having 2 eyes.
I mean, we've seen people physically held on a fucking scale that they're meant to fight the next day, right? So
yes, that's insane. That shit always gives me like the like it always makes my stomach churn when I see that stuff, those bad weigh-ins and stuff like that, and the trainer literally holding them on the scale. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Tim Bradley said he had early in his career he had to make 140, and he took the fight on short notice, and he was drained. He said he had to have his dad carry him into the weigh-in. It's like, and then you fought 24 hours or so later. It's like, guys, come on.
No, it's when the people are there holding you up on it. Just those guys. That's all. That's like criminal to me. Like, yeah, we'll hold you on the scale so you can fight tomorrow. That's almost like what would you call it? Like accessory to fucking murder or something. That's awful. It's like World Boxing fucking bullshit news saying suggesting that Danny Williams versus Mike Tyson should be the fight that Mike Tyson takes.
Dude, whoever their editor is, I know who their editor is, but whoever their editor is, like they just let everything go.
Yeah.
That has become like the new Boxing News 24, man. It really has. When that used to be like a semi-decent outlet. Not like a great outlet, but like occasionally they would have like an exclusive, occasionally have a good article, right? Like they would have some good journalism work there, some good news finding actually being done. Now it's just like, God, just drivel being produced time and time again. It's awful.
Well, they did, I think it was yesterday, exclusive. Wilder Fury 3, Joshua Pulev on the same card in Saudi Arabia.
I saw that. I was like, stop.
I mean, I clicked it and there was stuff from Aram. So I was reading it and I'm like, at no point in this story is that even suggested. It then turns into like an opinion piece.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, there's no exclusive. Exclusive, I've had an idea. That's it. It's ridiculous. I'm like, so wait, 6 networks would be involved with that. Yeah, ain't happening. would need $1 trillion.
Again, just the state of media here in boxing just is sad sometimes.
But
yes.
My point was suggesting Danny Williams, who's like whatever age he is now, still fighting against Mike Tyson off the back of a 5-second fucking pad work clip at 53 years old. I don't know. It's just like, do you even care about what you're writing anymore? Do you even care about fighters and stuff?
Casual base guy. Maybe you might know this, Rob, or about this to some degree. Maybe Gary will. saying, dude, Danny Jacobs in the quote about episode that DAZN put out is crazy. Daniel Jacobs was depleted. Do you guys know what that is? The about series? Is that like a new thing that DAZN's putting out that I don't know about?
Is this recent?
I'm assuming it would be recent. Maybe, I don't know. Casual Base Guy, let me know in the chat. I'm kind of curious about that.
Danny Jacobs was on Chris Lloyd's lockdown tapes and saying how he feels so much better at 168. He was like, that's why he blew the weight for Canelo, because like 160 is just feeling so shit at 160. Like, just
the dude was massive at 160. Like, he didn't belong in that weight class for a very long time.
But he said the relief now of like waking up fight morning, like going to bed knowing you're going to wake up and feel great, just like not drained, you're going to have the stamina. Because I think they made an interesting point, like against Canelo, he had a good spells, he had good spots in that fight, but he just couldn't go through the gears. And that's, if you're weight drained, if you've really had a hard cut, you might want to dig deep, and you just physically can't. No matter what you hydrate to, it's still not, you've done all that for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then one night you're allowed to drink and eat. It's not replenishing what you've done over those 8 weeks in camp and stuff. So they look healthier and fuller. It's not like actual energy or anything like that to me.
It's true, but a lot of what made Danny effective was he was a bigger guy in the ring. And when you saw, like when he fought Chavez Jr., not an A+ fighter by any means. When he wasn't the bigger guy in the ring, he had some issues. Not just saying Chavez was going to beat him. I'm just saying Chavez was giving him issues.
That's also due to Chavez being a little bit underrated, to be quite honest. I think people underrate how, like, Chavez had a run that people forget about. That, like, people started talking about him being really fucking good, and then he just pissed it all away with outside the ring antics. I will say this: if there's some way where we can figure out a weight cutting system and true weight classes where people actually fight in like their walk around weight, be fantastic. I think we see so many fighters deplete themselves without thinking about it. Like even guys like an Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford or Canelo, like there's certain guys like they truly deplete themselves when they try to cut to a certain weight class. And like seeing Canelo go up to 175 and do his thing, I think it was really illuminating to some aspect.
It's been a thing, like a trend, isn't it? That if I boil down, I can be a huge guy at a certain weight, whether it's 2 or 3 divisions where you below what you probably should be, or even one division makes such a difference. But this like trend of, well, if I can just cut another 7 pounds, I'm going to be a guy in that division, huge at the weight. But I think time takes its toll after a while, and I think guys, hopefully you see them fighting. I never understood it. If you're a disciplined guy and you naturally weigh, this whole necessity to strip down to the, I don't get it. You're healthier at close to your walk around weight, and just maybe chipping off a little bit just to any excess like fat. But when you really boil down to, like, what did Mauricio said, the WBC want to bring in, they want you to be 20% like of your fight weight, no more than 20% of your fight weight, like what you walk around at, because he said like Errol Spence is borderline.
It should be less than that though. Like doctors will say it's like 15%, like 10-15%.
But do you guys remember back in the 90s, Morales and Gatti used to drain themselves where they looked like skeletons, and they'd make the weight. Like, it's just that now everyone does that, right? I mean, Gatti, they used to would have, I forget, Gamachi or someone, they said he had like a 19-pound advantage in the ring. And this is at like 135. Like, that's a lot of weight at 135,
Absolutely. And also, by the way, for Gary and Rob, because you guys were both confused like I was about that episode they were talking about in the chat, it's apparently an episode that they aired a while ago, but they re-released and they put out on YouTube. It's sort of like an epilogue / about episode concerning Canelo Jacobs. So if you guys want to see that on YouTube, apparently DAZN put it out. I might go check that out just because I want to see how bad Jacobs looks. I'm kind of curious about that. I'm not surprised that he did look that bad at 160. I'm not surprised that he's saying that 168 feels so much better for him. Not surprised at all. Just like I bet a lot of those 168 pounders feel like shit every fucking fight day and weigh in. Like David Benavidez, that motherfucker, that dude came down from heavyweight. People forget about that. He was a chubby ass dude and cut a bunch of that fat off too, but he's a big dude cutting to 168. Caleb Plant cuts a lot of weight to get to 168. That dude walks around like a 185 pounder in the UFC, because I've been around a lot of UFC fighters too. He's around the same size as those guys.
You think Callum Smith is a tough weight cut right now to make 168? I'm sure it is.
He looks like a skeleton walking around.
Yeah.
You know, like he just doesn't look healthy, period, let alone when he's cutting weight.
The future cruiserweight champion of the world, Lawrence Coley, was huge.
Stop. Well, speaking of fanboyism, let's quickly talk about this before I jump off of, because we were talking about Mikey before this, and Sean Porter. That's what we originally got on about weight cutting and all that shit.
That's how interesting that topic was.
I don't care about a Sean Porter Mikey fight. I think like most of us, because we think that's such a one-sided fight. But another guy that called out Mikey is a guy that we know Gary is a huge fanboy of, Mario Barrios. I do think that's a more competitive fight than a Mikey Sean Porter fight, obviously speaking. But I really don't care for that one either. I feel like Mikey is in this weird limbo where he's going to be either used as a name to get over for a bunch of these prospects at 147 and as sort of a whipping post for the top 10. Or he goes back down to 140 and actually be a relevant top 5 player in that division. Guys, thoughts on the Mario Barrios sort of fight, or thoughts on overall, if you want to extrapolate it to more of a macro sense, the thought of Mikey being used as that guy to get over in the welterweight division. Should prospects be looking at Mikey now as that's the name I need to beat up before I go and face the Keith Thurmans, the Earl Spencers, the Terrence Crawfords of the world? I need to first beat up Mikey because he's a name and he's beatable in this division.
I want to address the Barrios thing first. That would be a huge fight in San Antonio. Mikey's already done there. Mikey's run well everywhere he's fought in Texas. And Barrios is becoming a superstar in that city. That would do a really live gate. That would do a big gate. I don't know what it would do as far as how many viewers it would get, but at the gate, it would do a big number. Barrios would win that fight. Then more of a macro sense, I think Mikey's competitive with everyone at 140. 140 is a really good division. I don't know that who he beats. I think if you had a tournament of best guys at 140 and then played it back, you get totally different outcomes, right? Like I don't think there's one guy. Right now, we'll say it's Josh Taylor because he's got the win over Prograis, but he could lose to Ramirez. He could lose a rematch to Prograis. I mean, none of those things are out of the question. But Mikey's in that mix with all those guys. The money, the big money, the pay-per-view money is all at 147. So before Mikey leaves the sport, he wants to cash in on that, and I can't blame him. Unfortunately, because I was a huge Mikey fan, I think he's that guy now. So let me beat Mikey, and then I can get Spencer, Thurman, or Pacquiao. That's where he's at right now.
Like if Jesse won, I think Jesse probably would have got a big fight.
Yeah.
To be honest. Or a bigger fight, I should say. Maybe not a big fight, but a bigger fight.
Like if they were in the same camp, I would say Virgil Ortiz. That's the guy you need to fight right now. But, they're in the same camp.
Rob, thoughts on Mikey versus Barrios and thoughts on Mikey being the guy to get over to go then fight the Earl Spencers and Crawfords of the world?
He might be the guy, but the guy isn't going to take a Barrios fight. He's looking for big paydays. I don't think Barrios is that guy at the moment. Look, Barrios needs to rematch Dov because I don't think he won that fight. So
he didn't win that fight.
Yeah. So give the guy a rematch, the one that broke your face, and come back to the table. But Mike can't take. Look, I know we're talking like with the Porter call out. I think that says everything. He's not getting a Pacquiao fight. I don't know what Pacquiao is going to do. He's busy saving. Oh God. Maybe Pacquiao's got his eyes on Barrios fight. Who knows?
Or maybe that Pacquiao Crawford fight in Macau actually happens.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a joke. No, you can't.
But yeah, no. I mean, nothing wrong with a young up and coming kind of a guy to call out a name like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just think these bigger guys, they're not looking that way. You know, they're looking for people in and around them, and yeah, I can't see this coming off. He's gone, Gary. He's gone again. Don't talk because you'll sound like a chipmunk. Just wait there. I'll hold it together. Smash that thumbs up. Wait for Matt to come back. But yeah, I don't see Barrios getting that kind of fight. I don't know at what point he'll be able to. Here he is. I told Gary not to talk and everything. Chipmunky. You can talk now, Gary.
You can talk.
I kind of dig the chipmunk voice. It sounds like I've been sucking on helium. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I forgot what the topic was. Are we still on Mikey?
Yeah, we can move on though. We've all sort of said our piece about Mikey not being relevant at 147. Let's be honest.
And Barrios piece about 140. Next topic.
Barrios, is he really at 140 still?
Yeah, they want to do one more at 140. He wants. Look, I know Matt calls it not a title.
Wait, was the Akhmadov fight at
that was at 140? That was for the WBA regular 140. Yeah.
The catchweight. Never mind then. Sorry, my criticism goes away. I thought
all his other fights were at catchweights. That was for the WBA regular. It was 140.
Okay.
And that was September last year. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was put on 6 month suspension by it was California, right? Yeah, it was a suspense card. So
didn't he break his jaw or break his cheek or something?
Yeah, I don't know if he broke his orbital, but like something in his cheek was broken, like his whole face was swollen. He was in the hospital for a couple of days, and then the other eye was like cut.
He wasn't allowed to fly home, was he, for a while?
It was a while, yeah. I mean, it wasn't weeks or months, but he wasn't allowed to fly home after the fight.
A few days, yeah.
Santiago's asking who's Alvin, Simon, and Theodore amongst us three. Obviously, Gary is Theodore. Okay.
Why is that obvious? Okay, I'll take it. That's fine.
Which one's Theodore?
Why is that obvious? Though?
Theodore gets all the women. Don't worry, okay? He secretly gets all the women.
Nice.
Okay.
Theodore get no action.
Rob is obviously Simon. Let's be honest here, guys. And I'll take Alvin. Yeah, I'll take Alvin.
You're the geeky fucking Simon. Get out of it. You're the fat green one.
You're the fat green.
I'm the fat green one.
Yes.
That's Theodore, yeah?
Yeah. Theodore.
Oh, is that a fat joke? Okay, I was getting Simon and Theodore messed up. Okay.
Simon's the blue shirt, glasses.
Oh, yeah, no, Matt's Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Yeah, no, that's what it is. I'm Theodore, you're Matt. Rob, you're clearly Simon.
What's the girl? That's like a little bit heavier that's into Theodore. That's Foo. That's true for sure. The thicker girl, that's for sure too. Anyways, let's move on. Julian Williams, speaking about the rematch with Jason Rosario, Jason Rosario, says would have been a little bit stupid to take immediate rematch with Rosario. Guys, do you find a couple questions here because I don't know really what to think here. Do you find his honesty about hey, like I would be stupid to take this rematch to be refreshing? Also. Do you think he's right? Do you think it would have been a bad move for him to take that Rosario rematch immediately and he might have lost that? I mean, if you're his manager or his coach, would you have advised him not to as well? Guys, thoughts on Williams being a little bit honest here and transparent with his motives?
I got nothing but respect for Breadman and J-Rock. I of the utmost. I think they're right. I mean, if J-Rock went into that fight 100% and that happened to him, then don't go right into the rematch. If you didn't take the camp seriously, if you overlooked Rosario, then, maybe you should blame yourself. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think he went in the fight overlooking Rosario. I think he got blown out by him. And in that case, why go straight back into a rematch with him? Take something in between to work out the kinks. I don't know what's so funny.
By the way, people are reminding me what the name of that chipmunk girl is. It's Eleanor. So Fu is Eleanor.
Is that because I started talking and I started getting a comment? Why is Matt laughing at me? I didn't say anything ridiculous.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so glad the chat is talking.
That doesn't work though because Fu clearly fancies me.
Then who is the nerdy girl that liked Simon? Because there's 3 chipmunk girls and 3 chipmunk guys in the show and the movies. I just don't remember all their names.
I don't know.
Who's the dad? Maybe Fu's the dad. He's the one that's like parent us. He kind of does look like the dad too.
Did we see the dad? Did we actually see the dad?
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like Tom and Jerry where he just the feet.
No, it wasn't like Tom and Jerry. It wasn't like also Muppets. Like they don't see people.
What weren't they completely out of scale to the dad? Weren't they like a 9-year-old child?
Yeah, they were they were children. Yes, we're the children, and if it was the dad, yes,
But
apparently.
I'm talking. They were like, I don't know, up to his waist.
Well, yeah, they weren't the size of actual chipmunks. Yes.
This is
Wait, Rob, did you ever watch the cartoon like show or movies?
Yeah,
like back in the
yeah. I'm just trying to remember it back. They were like 9-year-old children height, right?
I think because me and my kid watched one of them not too long ago. I think it was Alvin and the Wolfman, Alvin the Chipmunks and the Wolfman. That TV movie. Go check out that one. That one's great.
No, but answer my question.
Theodore becoming a werewolf. It's really cool.
How big was the werewolf if they were like 9-year-old children like chipmunks?
Well, the adult werewolf was the size of an adult, and then when Theodore became a werewolf, he was the size of Theodore. He just became a little bit more wolfy because he already had fur, so they just put more fur on him.
Are you feeling like being a little bit wolfy right now?
Yo, he's going deep on the chipmunks. Oh my god, this is so good. Anyways, back to Williams and Rosario. Rob, thoughts on J-Rock being honest and saying that he would be a stupid rematch? Do you think he's right? Do you like his honesty?
Jeanette was the nerdy girl.
Oh my god. Did you look it up or somebody say in the chat?
Santi's got us with the chipmunk
reference.
It is Jeanette too. Oh my god, that is
full on boxing historian and chipmunk aficionado. Brilliant. All right. Santi, I know we're on lockdown, but you need to get out more, bro. No, Jake, it's good to have knowledge. It comes in handy. What are we talking? Williams and who?
Rosario.
Oh, and it was good that he didn't go straight into a rematch.
Yeah, he said it would be stupid to take the rematch.
Yeah.
Do you think he's right?
Well, it's a sensible one, but most fighters want it straight back, right? They want to put right what went wrong. But maybe he thought, holy shit, there's a lot I need to put right to get that, to put to change that wrong. So yeah, probably.
Do you like that he's being honest and saying like I didn't want to take it and not saying like it was an injury or not?
You got to respect that. You got to respect the honesty. Some people out there would be like, "Oh, what a pussy." Some would be like, fair enough. We criticize fighters when they just speak what they think people want them to say, and it's like, fighters lie to themselves. That's fighter talk. That's what a fighter's supposed to say. But fair enough. That's.
No, I agree completely.
Well, I talk a lot of sense. That's why. I'm Simon. Remember.
That is true. You're the logical one of the group. I will say that. I'm the hothead, and Gary's the lovable one. He's the one that we want to cut.
Facts. Yeah.
The one with a good personality.
That is true. It all makes sense actually.
Equals fat. You're not a fat guy, Gary. I don't know why you
I got a few,
into it with you like that.
Got a few extra pounds. I'm working on it though.
Yeah.
Not during quarantine.
I mean,
when
to be fair,
I'll work on it again.
To be fair though, I mean it's America. Everyone's obese here, and it's like it's par for the course. Let's be honest.
Texas went from the 48th most obese state last year, and then in 2018 it was the 47th most obese state. So we're getting in shape. We're down to 47th now.
Who's the
West Virginia is the fattest.
Not
and then
surprised.
we just got better than Kentucky. I don't remember who's in the middle.
Who's the least?
I would say Hawaii, but I don't know.
Polynesian people are giants.
They're not fat though. They're all NFL players. Like they're huge.
You're right, but they're just giants, man. I don't know.
Nah, some of them are carrying some real timber. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to do a pound for pound show on it, right?
Oh yeah, I'm down for that. Down for that. Dana White slamming Bob Arum, saying you can't afford to put fights on, you fucking jack off.
I hate this. That's just like, I'm really torn because that's half hilarious and half just disgusting.
Even the disgusting part's hilarious.
To call an 88-year-old man a fucking jerk off. That's just
jack off.
Oh,
come on.
What's the difference?
Get it right here, Rob.
You can jack off and you can jerk off. Which is it?
This is getting vile. This is turning into dirty talk here. What are we doing here?
Shut up, Theodore.
You want me to read the full quote?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll read the full quote. Hold on. Do I need to do a voice?
Yeah, you need to go really bright red, like you've got some angina issues.
Get redder. Okay.
Just, you don't have to do a voice.
Listen, I think by now everybody realized that Bob Arum is a dickhead, White said on the UFC's Unfiltered podcast. This guy has been talking shit about the UFC and me for 20 fucking years. He's fucking bankrupt, this guy. He's bankrupt. Of course you don't want me to put on fights. You can't afford to put on fights, you fucking jack off. You've been in this thing your whole life and have completely destroyed the business and the sport. Congratulations, Bob Arum. You're fucking brilliant. I may have added a few more fuckings in there just for dramatic effect, but that's basically what Dana White said. Is he right?
At least he ended on a compliment. You're fucking brilliant.
I don't think he was genuine there, but okay, yeah, good point. Good point. And with love, you're right.
You can't go around calling someone a dickhead and a fucking jack off and then not say, but you're brilliant. I did pick up on the tone. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, Bob's always took his shots. There's a years old conversation. Was it Ariel Helwani when he said it's like two homosexuals rolling around on the floor? He's always had shots at this sport. Obviously, he didn't like it because it came in popular and it's done really well. So Bob's Bob, right? But you can't tee off on an 88-year-old fucking little man like that. That's bad. I think that was a little bit poor taste. But Bob has been dishing it out. So
I don't have it. He didn't tee off on an 8-year-old. He teed off on an adult, right? Like I would say, don't do it either. But Bob runs his mouth. So if you can still run your mouth,
we're not talking about like should he have talk shit? Like they're promoters. They're gonna talk shit.
Yeah.
Is he right? Yeah. Is he right? Like did Bob Arum completely destroy his business and the sport?
I don't think that's totally right.
Is Top Rank bankrupt? Can they not put on fights because they can't afford it? You know, is that true, or is this Dana White just saying shit just to say shit?
That can't be true. They can't be bankrupt.
I mean, broke. Let's be real.
I mean, they can't be in that bad financial shape, right? I mean, really,
they've been exploiting and ripping off fighters for 60 years. I think they're fine.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like maybe they're not as lucrative as they once were, but like I think Dana White's being a little hyperbolic there. They're bankrupt.
Do we know the details of the ESPN deal per se? Do we know?
No, we never know the particulars. We know we have heard rumors, obviously, from guys like Evan Rakowski and others. Like we know it's roughly around like $90 million a year from the network.
Then he's good.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think Bob Arum's fine.
I think Dana went a little bit crazy there. I think that was a little bit hyperbolic. I mean, like I say,
funny though.
Bob's out there shitting on Dana White, calling him a fucking lunatic and all that for trying to get these events on now. And I don't think, listening to quite a lot of Bob Arum this week, it's funny, a little clip of it. I think it was Umar from IFL said they had Zoom set up and he's like, "Can you hear me? Can you see me all right, Bob?" And Bob's like, "Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like a Zoom expert these days. I know exactly. It's like 88-year-old Bob's like, "Right, now press this button." You should be recording or something. He's like, "Get your shit together, Umar." But I don't think it's coming from like jealousy because UFC are coming back first. I think Bob is legitimately like, we need to do this properly. Not, he's kind of suggesting, like Dana's a fucking cowboy and I think he said like Endeavor need the money, and stuff like that. So he's took his own shots, whether they're factual and stuff, which I think some of them are, but
is this just a classic case of projection here? Dana White, a guy that has notoriously ripped off fighters more so than boxing promoters, a guy who is at the behest of a company who is actually in financial trouble, documented financial trouble now, not ESPN Top Rank. It's Endeavor in the UFC. Is this just projection and Dana White being a little bit of a wimpy coward and yelling at people that are actually running?
Oh, you calling him a wimpy coward? The same man that's been calling the media the weakest of the weak
and the wimpiest of the wimps. Yes, yeah. Great shit talking there, Dana. The wimpiest of the wimps.
Will you be testing the fighters? Oh, you don't need to know that. I think this is precisely the moment when people need to be transparent and let people know what's going on. Otherwise, people like Bob Arum might think you're a fucking lunatic. Just saying.
But that obviously means they're not testing them, right? Because if you were, you would just say it.
No, they are. They are.
So why would you answer that? You don't need to know that, right? Because that's like
because it's Dana White.
Okay.
He's a dude that's owned 10% of a $1 billion company his entire life and been lucky.
Because lucky than good.
Because his mafioso friends who run casinos said, "Hey Dana, we know you're getting run out of Boston from the mob. We'll give you a job over here with our mafia." And that's what happened.
Guys, not just the head of whatever is his friends. He's head of the guy that runs your fucking country is his friend, right?
Well, that too now. Yeah, that too now. Yeah, he's connected.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Dana, don't test them. Just inject them with detergent. Shine a light on their ass. Eat it. Eat the light.
You can put UV light in the
I'll never ever.
Oh my god!
Provided I don't catch some mental illness, but I will never forget the day I heard Donald Trump asking a medical doctor if can we not just inject detergent and eat light.
Okay. Anyways, WBC is exploring the possibility of remote scoring for upcoming sanctioned bouts. Writes Jake Donovan over at Boxing Scene. I think they also put out like a little graphic as well, like explaining how this mechanism will work. I'm not too worried about this. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, now they're going to corrupt it more, or it's going to be more inept judging due to this." I don't think that's possible. We have such inept judging at this point in time. Like, how can it get worse?
No.
And the issue isn't necessarily that it's digital or not, or like you have fans in attendance or whatever. Like, those aren't really the issues with bad judging. Bad judging is because judges aren't really trained properly. Let's be honest. And there's also no recourse to bad judging. If you put in a bad scorecard, the commission or the sanctioning body does not come out after you. There's no accountability. So those are the issues. If those are fixed, then it doesn't matter if it's digital, remote scoring. It doesn't matter if it's on site. It doesn't matter if you put them in a soundproof booth with 5 TV screens. It doesn't matter. Are they trained? Is there accountability? Once we have answers to those 2 questions, then all of this doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Gary, Rob, thoughts on the remote scoring that could be happening for future WBC bouts? And I'm assuming if the WBC try this, other sanctioned bodies will follow suit.
It's like when they go to in the NFL, when they go to New York to review a play. I mean, I don't know how much it's really going to change, right? Like, it's still a person scoring the fight. That person can be competent or incompetent. That person can be corrupt or not corrupt. I'm not opposed to it or really in favor of it. I mean, if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. I don't think any bad can come of it, but I don't think it's going to drastically change anything. Like, you're still going to have bad judges.
Oh, we're definitely going to get bad scorecards. And I don't see a marketed improvement because now you don't have, like, forever you heard, like, oh, judges are ringside so that they're affected by the crowd's reactions. And I think that's always been a bullshit narrative, to be quite honest. I think this is not going to prove that. to see them be remote, no fans, to see some sort of market improvement of judging. Rob, thoughts on remote scoring here?
Nah, not for me. I mean, at the moment, they're going to be in the arena with no fans anyway. So it's not like they're going to be swayed by the fans in this case. So they don't need to be remote. They're like three people tested, sat more than 2 meters apart. I don't know. They're not. It's not like they're 50 people all of a sudden. It's free.
I'm actually okay with taking like ring announcers, commentators, like the analysts, so to speak, and also judges outside of the ring and putting them in booths, studio somewhere. I'm in favor of that. Offsite commentators, at least, and offsite judging. I'm in favor of that from a health perspective.
People need to go and listen to the DeBella thing, because Lance brought this up. He said, I was on a conference call with Mauricio Suleiman and he said, I love Mauricio, but right now I don't give a flying fuck what Mauricio has to say about this. He said, what? So they're a sanctioning body. What the fuck has that got to do with like what's he saying? I mean, cool, he's coming up with like some safety plans, but he's not. He said, and this is the problem we haven't got a governing like body, right? He said, over in England, the British Boxing Board of Control have come out. We've got like no spitting. They're going to have some kind of system where the fighters can spit safely into the buckets and stuff like that.
I saw that. That's crazy.
You know, they really, obviously, as it evolves, things will loosen and whatever. But you know, really, but you guys don't have that. You know, you haven't got a central governing body. But yeah, Luke, go and listen to the Pug and Cop, because yeah, this comes up about the remote judges. He says they should be ringside, and it's like doesn't really matter.
Real question though, right? And I do you think
it doesn't matter from a judging perspective, but in the middle of a pandemic, restricting as many people as possible that are in the arena does absolutely matter. And I don't know if Lou was making that argument as well, or just making an argument of the efficiency of judging and, you know, a black and white issue of that. I think he's right about that. That the ringside, it should probably be more efficient that way. Absolutely right. But in the middle of a pandemic, restrict as many people as possible in that arena. Commentators and judges do not need to be there. You can do that offsite. Absolutely.
I mean, British Boxing Board said there'll be no ring announcer. Obviously, no ring card girls. No cameramen to step inside the ring.
So they're doing like remote camera work. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might have a cameraman on the apron. I don't know, in one corner maybe, but potentially those fighters could come obviously straight into that corner. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be done on like boom arms and stuff like that. What else was it? You know, a whole bunch of stuff. Cornermen are going to have masks. Fighters won't have masks. Referee will be masked. All PPE and everything. So I don't know, but yeah, the judging thing, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess if some guys at home watching the fight on the TV, you might get a dog might run in and fucking knock the TV over. Well,
I don't think they should be home. They should be in studio, you know, with the TV, with monitors. You should have a commission official there to make sure nothing happens. You should have a sanctioning body official to make sure that's there to make sure nothing happens. And then it's all sort of a little bit up on the up and up, you know, especially if the commission official is there, you know, maybe off-site, but still on location, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I got the back room, you know, you have underground facilities, you know, stuff like that within the stadium you could do.
I got a real question just for remote judging. Do you think it could be beneficial in the sense that like judges sitting ringside, eye level, sometimes if their backs are turned to them, you can't really see what's landing. Being remote, watching it on a monitor, you can actually see more of what's going on. Absolutely. Do you think there's benefit to that?
At least a marginal one. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
They could do their job more effectively in a studio or on a monitor than they can actually sitting right on the ring.
I hate being ringside for that reason. I hate being on Media Row because it's an awful place to see a fight. You can't see stuff half the time. There's a cameraman blocking stuff. It's great to get the atmosphere, you know, to understand like the moment of a fight. Yeah. It's great to be there and to be there next to the fight, obviously, to hear all the punches and the blows, but to actually like score and break down what are, you know, landing and scoring shots, it's hard. It is difficult.
Yeah, ringside here.
It's hard.
ringside hearing the shots is just another experience that if you haven't heard like the punches landing from ringside, oh man. When Chisora landed on Spilka, oh my god, I was just like, oh, that just sounded horrible. Not it looked it and it sounded it, but yeah, I don't know. I've seen a few people today saying like everyone knows the best seats in the house are like the first row in the like off the floor. Like I don't know quite how.
Upper floor. Yep.
Yeah, so you're just slightly
at that first bowl section.
Front row of the bowl section or whatever, you know, off the floor, just slightly raised, you know, slightly elevated compared to ringside. Like ringside, literally, you're looking, you know, if they're like on your side of the road, you're like fucking just looking at a pair of legs and up shorts and shit. You know, it's like you really see what's happening. I don't know, but I don't know. I think the guys have got to be there. I mean, you could have one guy. It depends what venues are being used, I guess. So we'll see. But I'm not like opposed to it. It just seems it's like 3 guys. Is it really adding considerable numbers? But then I think, like Lou said, like a lot of these guys are like old, and then you're like, are they going to be asthmatic? Are they, you know, are they more at risk? You know,
that's another thing. Like, why? I don't know about sound ageist. Why is the average judge 85 years old? Like, maybe
because boxing's that old.
That's part of it. Yeah, they've been around for so long, man. Like, if you get in, you're in. I think about it.
You're right.
If you're judging high level boxing, like, what is there to stop you from judging high level boxing?
Birds.
I mean, you have to have so much public backlash, like Adelaide Bird. Even then, she's still judging.
She's still doing top fights, right?
Yeah, she's still doing TV fucking fights for fuck's sake.
And Murata's worse than Adelaide Bird. Adelaide Bird's not good. There are worse judges than Adelaide Bird.
I don't know, man. She's up there. She's in the top 1% of bad judges.
Dave Moretti is worse than Moretti is worse than Bird. Moretti's so bad.
I'm not saying Moretti's good, but Moretti's better than Adelaide Bird.
I feel like Adelaide Bird's got bad scorecards, right? But it's just one egregious one. Like, if you just look at Moretti's body of work, there's way more bad than there is good. He had Vargas versus Pacquiao 114-113, which means the knockdown was the difference. He scored 6 rounds for Jesse Vargas in that fight. What fight were you watching? That is atrocious.
Yeah, it's bad.
10 rounds for sorry. What was the I'm getting mixed up now. Who was the judge? Remind me, for Mayweather Canelo.
Alejandro Rochin. Awful judge.
No.
Which? Oh, no. Canelo. CJ Ross.
CJ Ross. That one is so bad. She legitimately, we haven't seen that judge again.
She retired after that. She did. CJ Ross tweeted that she agreed with Adelaide Bird's scorecard on the Canelo Triple G.
That was a fake account, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay. Like, not the endorsement you want. Was it a fake account?
But I'm pretty sure that wasn't a real account. I'm pretty sure.
I don't want it to be, but it had to be.
I definitely want it to be real, but that's not.
No way. Thank God, Adelaide, beautiful.
It's like when a mass murderer comes out and endorses your political campaign. No, keep that down. Don't endorse me, please.
Oh God,
CJ Ross like it. But I say CJ Ross, awful judge. Alejandro Rochin, awful judge. But Adelaide Bird gets all of the, and I think her husband's a good judge for the most part. So I don't know why she gets all the animosity.
Robert Bird. I mean, first off, he's an okay judge. He's an awful ref now. Like, he's getting old.
What was it, Glowacki and Breeders?
Oh my God, that entire fight haunts me.
That was fucking brilliant.
The dude was knocked out from an elbow, and he told him just to get back up.
Get up, faker.
Didn't take a point, didn't do anything. Just told him to get back up.
And then they're swinging for like 45 seconds after the bell. There's the guy over the corner. We rang the fucking bell, and he's like, "Huh? You what? Say what now?" Oh, wait, stop. Oh, shit was crazy. I'm going to go back and watch that. I'm going to put that on YouTube.
On a positive note, Lisa Jampa, very underrated judge. She should get more big fights.
God of War in the chat. Adelaide Bird scored Wilder Fury 118, 110 for Canelo.
I remember that.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Right.
And on that note, guys, that's going to be it for today's show. I get out. Got to eat some food.
Air horns for that comment. That.
Oh, let me get some air horns.
You can find the real shame of that is that comment deserved to be in the form of a super chat.
You're so greedy, Rob. So greedy.
Oh yeah, we already got 5 from Santi. Damn.
We already got 5 from Santi. That's like half our month's revenue right there. We're good, man.
If we do 5 per show, you could get a new computer in like, I don't know, what, 5 years?
If we get another 5,
a year.
If we have another 5, we'll have a bring your own pizza party. How about that?
Oh shit! Cowabunga time. Let's go.
Cowabunga, right? Which turtle are you, Gary?
I guess
Gary is definitely. Is he a Casey Jones because of the hair?
Oh, the dude with the hockey stick. No, but that's not a turtle. We got to be a turtle. Food is.
Okay. And there's actually 4 of us. Okay, I understand. Yeah. I understand. Okay, here's the issue. Who has more of an anger issue? Me or Gary? Because whoever has more of the anger issue is Ralph.
Ralph? Who the fuck is Ralph?
Raphael.
You said like Ralph.
That's Raphael for short. They call him Ralph.
Do they?
Like yes. Ralph?
Oh my god, fucking whatever. But whoever is the most angry one of us has to be him.
That's Red Bandana, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's. Oh my god, are you even a fan?
Are you?
Absolutely. I know their nicknames.
You're making them up.
I could be Mikey though, because I'm the stoner and I like pizza.
Mikey?
Michelangelo.
Mikey.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're him. You're the Californian. Okay.
So I'm Mikey. Gary's Raphael.
Yeah.
You're Donatello. Or do you want to be Leonardo?
I don't know. Which is better to be? Leonardo's like the under pressure, like.
Yeah, he's always angsty, always mad and moody. No, you're definitely Leonardo. It's fucking moody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't no moody. I keep the.
And Fu is Donatello. He's the nerdy one. He's the computer geek.
No one, he's never here, right? Like Donatello's the one Ninja Turtle you always forget about. So that's definitely Fu.
Fu's like fucking Splinter or something.
No, who's Splinter?
The ratty looking one.
Lord Jacob is Lord Jacob Splinter.
You're
talking down to wisdom.
Yeah. Who's April?
Who's April? I'm about to say that. Who's April?
We don't have.
April O'Neil in on this kit. Oh, I remember the rap. That was good.
Who's Shredder? Who's our enemy? Who's Shredder? Is it name redacted? Are they the Foot Clan?
Yeah, they're the Foot Clan.
Foot Clan.
Yes.
Oh, the fucking Foot Clan.
Yes, guys. Yes. Anyways, guys, have a great day, great evening, great night, wherever you are in the world. Hit the like button, share the show, all that fun stuff. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. Find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, on all social media platforms. Rob?
UK Rob MCR / Simon / Leonardo. It's been funny. I like this. This is good. Yeah, I'm sure, we're getting closer to some actual fighting and we don't have to address these topics of Corona call-outs and upstart Texan stars in the making, wanting to fight big money, that kind of stuff.
Those are the best.
Best / worst. But yeah, hit that thumbs up, share the show, and I'll hand you over to Gary to do his ever normal little, what is it? God bless everybody.
Little sign off.
The little sign off. That's it.
Like Gary.
Barrios absolutely takes apart Mikey Garcia. That'll happen. Find me at all forms of social media, 3D Boxing blog. Also Theodore and Raphael. From Texas,
So good.
from Texas to the world. Thank you. God bless.
Oh my god.
Theodore whining right now.
Oh my god, so good. Trying to end the show. I'm thinking about fucking Theodore over here.